On we go with our next contest. Here is a young man from Worcester, Michael Madman Mooney.
I think we're going to hear a lot of this song in the next couple of weeks, John. In one way, it's a good thing the season's about to end in boxing. I can't stand enough for the recital of this song.
I'm not a football fan, so Michael Mooney, who has a knockout win over the current English light welterweight champion, Sam O'Mason. Probably the best win on his record, but he scored a few upsets, Michael Mooney. A couple of them in Scotland while I was there watching him. Knocked out Eddie Doyle, former Commonwealth title challenger.
And a local man from just 10 miles away. Here is Wigan's Andrew Fleming.
Fleming looking focused there on the ring walk.
He's a nice, busy boxer, Fleming. I've watched him a couple of times, and he beat Christian Lau on points. He throws nice clusters of punches. He's quite correct, doesn't reach. Could have a bit of a fight here tonight, though, because Mooney comes to have a scrap. We'll see if Mooney's on the kind of form where he gets into a good fight. We could see what Fleming's about.
On we go with contest number 7 of 10 tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 4 3-minute rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. Introducing to you firstly, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the red, white and blue coloured shorts. At the weight he scale, 10 stone, 3 pounds, 4 ounces. Tonight is his 59th professional contest. He hails from Worcester. Here is Michael Madman Mooney. And opposing him, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the white coloured shorts trimmed with the gold tassels. At the weight he scale, 10 stone, 2 pounds, 2 ounces. Another gentleman with 3 contests, 3 wins from Wigan. Here is the undefeated Andrew Fleming. Timekeeper at the bell, con emparado Phil Morris, and here is referee Mark Lyson from Anfield for 3-minute rounds.
Okay, boys. Okay, Mike, tell it big clearly. Man yourselves on all sides, boys. Go to both.
And as you say, John, Mooney could, he might fancy this one a little bit, last fight of the season.
You know what, Mooney's kind of like, it just depends on his mood that night, but he can punch, and when he's up for it, he's hard work.
Yeah, he lost his pro debut, then he won 3 fights in a row, a couple of defeats, but then he knocked out stopped Eddie Doyle in 3 rounds.
I was up there, I actually watched it ringside.
Had the win over Mark Evans as well, he was 9-1-1 at the time. A win over Billy Morgan, he was 9-1. Samuel Mason also 9-0, so he's pulled out a few wins, and then he had
I think he dropped Mark Evans a couple of times as well.
And a decision win over Matt Seawright as a bit of an old war horse himself, so it was a mixed bag early on, and he seemed to settle into a pattern of losses, but he's had a draw only last year in 2017 against Chris Pilkington, so it does pop up, as you say, with the occasional result. Obviously he was doing better at the start of his career, but he's not going to be easy to get out for that.
With Mooney, it's if you put it on him for a fight, you'll get something out of him. If you box him, you know, he'll stand off, he makes it awkward, but if you get straight on him, he'll give you a bit back.
Yeah, that's what Fleming's done. I mean, Mooney's 8-49-1 with the 5 KO wins to his name, lost 3 times by stoppage himself, so I sometimes like these guys with these records where they string the odd stoppage defeats, it lets you know they've got a bit of danger about them.
Fleming's a nice boxer as well. He puts them together in clusters and he don't rush.
Yeah, he's only had 3 fights, Fleming, but he's fought Alameda, then he fought Christian Late and Dale Arrowsmith, and they're kind of a who's who with fighters who go on the road. And
it's all about learning different styles, isn't it? Arrowsmith's tall, Hamidi's busy, Christian's a switch hitter. You learn something off all 3 of them. And then Mooney's a bit more aggressive with a bit of a punch. Again, just a bit more of the education.
the media's an awkward guy. He gave John Murray an absolute fit. I think it was in Nottingham on the.
He's had a couple of wins recently as well, Amidi. He beat Joe Ducat and he beat somebody else. He beat someone last week as well. So Amidi, when he's in the mood, and he had a draw with Christian Late on one of Steve's shows.
I remember going back a good few years, he tore Michael Gomez's face to ribbons before Gomez pulled out the shots to stop him. So he's awkward, the media. He's a very awkward customer.
Yeah, he's capable. Just getting on a little bit now. But, you know, it looks to me tonight like Mooney, he's going to have a bit of a go.
Yeah, it's promising. He's got a look about him, like you said, he wants to give it a go. He's
replying. When it comes into him, he's replying.
Gone from bad to worse for Luke Evans. I think he's broken his hand in that first round.
Oh wow! Any prognosis on how long he might be out?
I don't think he's worried about that yet. You can see it though; it's already swollen up, and he's in a bit of pain up there, which is
the only silver lining. Then is the end of the season, so at least he hasn't ruined any fights coming up. Good first round there. Fleming won the round, but Mooney gave him a little bit to think about with a couple of raids.
You can see it's a little bit messy there, so Fleming just tried to sink in a body shot on the inside, but as you say, Mooney was playing his part and making it a bit of a rough and tumble affair, really.
just bumped into Andrew's gym mate Kyle Lamotta you fought earlier, and I asked him if it was a knockdown. He just laughed at me and walked off. I think that says it all about what he thought of that one in his fight earlier on.
We'll say that's an obvious. We say fighters have their pride. He still won the fight, but he's flipping off the knockdown, which is a good sign that he's got that competitive spirit.
Seconds out. Round two.
The only thing I'd say about this one, John, is it's one of those fights that's got a few signs that it could get quite messy over the next couple of rounds.
Yeah, if you get too close to Mooney, he knows how to shut you down. He'll hit you with on the back of the head. He'll hit you low. He knows how to slow you down. He's a tough man. And if you get too close to him, that's where he'll have a fight. It's best to keep it at long range, really.
He started this round doing exactly that though, hasn't he? Using his footwork, Fleming, just to get behind that jab, give himself a little bit of space.
That's what he wants, room. That's what he did nicely there. Took a step out. Like I say, he's very compact, very neat boxer, Fleming. I don't know how he punches because he's been in with 3 tough kids, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, that's the difficulty sometimes, isn't it, when you see these guys' records? They're fighting guys that don't get stopped at all, so we don't know how hard they punch until they step up.
They could be good, and guys who don't give them the opportunity to land clean, so they could be good punchers, but you'd never know.
Yeah, and that's why you often see on fighters' records, the first few fights they have, they don't get stoppages, and then it comes when they step up in opponents because the opportunities are there for them.
Yeah, longer fights, and the other guys taking a few more chances because they're after the win. All of a sudden, you see what they're all about. That was nice.
Yeah, nice slick work from Fleming, just taking that half step back.
Like to see more feints off Fleming. Long feints to the eyes, see what he can draw, and then a fast counter.
He is picking his shots nicely when he's in range though.
Yeah. See when he draws an attack as well, it leaves the shots open there.
Yeah, he just seems to have found that perfect distance for him where Mooney can't land anything, but he can throw his own shots and land.
It's about pulling it as well. Once you pull Michael's punch, because he's aggressive, he falls over, like goes over his front foot, and then you can draw him onto it. It's about pulling that first shot.
Nice lead hook as well. Like you said, Mooney falling in over that shot that he threw.
You've got to draw it though, because if you don't draw it, you're leaving yourself in range for his shot, and he can punch, Mike, so that's nice. That's nice there. Paul's second phase. Boxing like a southpaw should.
He's just showing glimpses of real class, isn't he, in there tonight?
Yeah.
Little phases.
See again the second phase, touch, draw the shot, second phase. And he's got a touch there to draw. You don't want to engage straight away. Touch, let the shot come.
Yeah, he's doing exactly what you call him for. Every time Mooney falls in with a shot, he's landing 3 or 4 of his own.
That's exactly the way to box, Mike, because Michael can punch and he's a tough kid, but if you draw him, he gets a bit too aggressive over his feet and then he's ready for shots in. And this kid's doing it without even being told. He's realised through his own ring IQ and he's drawing it out.
And he's showing his pedigree in there. We mentioned it earlier, but all the guys from that gym turn over from the amateurs at the same time, and they've all developed into good professionals, showing glimpses of all 3 of them that are on the bill tonight, being able to do something in this game. You know, Fleming's picking his shots nicely, showing a bit of intelligence about his work as well.
What's happened there?
Oh, 10 seconds.
Boxing won't be allowed to carry on there. Ah, there you go.
Yeah, just playing with you.
Seconds out. Round 3.
Mooney's got someone on the light switch in case he needs a rest.
His twins just got in instead of him to do the next 2.
Nice long feint there.
It's nice and composed performance so far behind that jab.
And we were talking before, John, about when people in the trade say going into the second phase of an attack. Is that just the first phase where you open the opponent up and then the second one where you actually put it on them?
Yeah, your first phase is basically a kind of exploration. You put it in 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2 or even a lead left hook. You see what comes from them and then that leaves you in a nice position to really get the meaty shots flowing or to get the body shots or to get that shot you've been working on. So your first phase is just to explore and to set it off. And if it works and you set it off, then you go to work with the good work. And the really classy fighters bringing the third phase, they're the ones who are, you know, they've really got something going on when they draw another attack and then counter you again. That's your Billy Joe Saunders and people like that.
And obviously at the top level we saw someone like Floyd who had 4, 5 and 6 phases of attack and defence as
the
well.
The whole fight was just his phases. The other guys were just there to make it look good.
And obviously with Floyd out of the sport now, do you think people are going to start appreciating his greatness, or do you think he's always going to get a bit of stick?
I think he'll always get a bit of stick because he did things his own way, and you know there are questions to be asked, but people are always appreciated more when they're gone. People didn't rate Joe Calzaghe as high as they should have until he retired. You know, it's always the way.
I was guilty of that myself. Obviously we've got Southpaw in front of us here in Rafferty, but I never really appreciated Joe for the skills that he had until I think the Kessler fight, when he managed to switch the fight after taking a few uppercuts early and adapted his tactics.
Lennox Lewis wasn't appreciated by a lot of people until he'd actually retired, and then they went like, wow, we had a great heavyweight here. You know, people don't appreciate what's there. They're always looking to pick faults, but you know.
And on a much smaller scale tonight, Fleming has gone from the first round that could have developed into a messy fight to actually controlling these next 2 rounds.
He showed a really good ring IQ. He's figured out what works and he's making it work. It's nice.
And is that ring IQ something you pick up on the first couple of times you see a fighter spar, or is it something that you think develops over time?
Some guys have got a real natural IQ. Some guys have to learn instincts that help them with it, but he looks to be able to, he's seen that he's got a strong guy who's going to come for a bit of a brawl, and he's seen that, you know, it's best to counter him, and that's what he's doing there. Just that little bit of movement there would have been good though. And just to give himself a little bit of room. With blood in Mooney's nose, which, you know, Mooney don't take a lot of stick. This is a good performance.
Yeah, his footwork's been impressive as well, hasn't it?
Very, very good. Do you know, his punch picking's been good as well. I'd love to know who keeps turning the lights off.
And like you said, Terry, you know, that first round, it could have been a messy night's work for him, but he's really started to show his class in there tonight.
Yeah, and as you say, the movement's been good. He's not, sometimes fighters just move for the sake of moving, whereas actually his movement, you can see a logic behind it. He's trying to open his opponent up, maybe do the odd foot feints as well, so it's not just wasted energy, expanded to look good. You see some fighters with tassels on the shoes who think the Sugar Ray Leonard who just bouncing around the ring without any end product.
And there's an example of him picking those shots nicely, just as Mooney charged in.
Yeah, as you see, Fleming, as you say, he's took a few nice shots. He's nice and composed there, and he's bouncing Mooney back, and that's always going to catch the eye of the scoring referee Mark Lyson.
It was out for the 4th and final round.
Been a composed performance. Been impressed by him.
And obviously with his name being Fleming, it's a good time to say from Bolton with glove, in reference to the great James Bond film by the famous author Sir Ian Fleming. Well, I don't know if he was a sir or not, but
He should have been. Yeah, Mooney's got his hands up tight. I think he took a few shots that round and he didn't want to.
And even the punches that don't land, as we saw there with Fleming, that one at the Garden, it knocked Mooney off balance, so it shows that there's a bit behind these punches.
They're nice and correct, aren't they? If a punch is correct, you're going to feel it. You don't have to have power. If it's correct and thrown correctly, they're going to feel it. I just like for Fleming to get round him a little bit more. That's why the left is sometimes reaching. Just get across him a bit more so the left cross can go straight at him. Like, see there, he's going to reach because Mooney's moving to his own left, which is the right thing to do against Southpaw. So Fleming just takes a little step to his right, then he can see how he did there, and he can just slot the left hand straight down the pipe.
And I was a southpaw myself, John, and I firmly fell into the camp of gangly, awkward southpaws that no one wanted to spar.
That's all southpaws. You get the odd aggressive one, but that's all southpaws, gangly, horrible people who nobody wants to spar.
Cheers, John. Well, as we say with Fleming here, he's just
a little step out to his right there, just to get that a little bit more on line, that straight backhand.
And he looks like the previous 2 rounds he's got Mooney snake fascinated to the point where he doesn't really want to throw his own shots. He's just counting down the seconds.
He's done a good job.
And I was saying that he opens up with a couple just to give himself a bit of respite.
I think he heard you, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Just a little adjustment with the feet, and he's got a touch there. Just keep touching so he can't get on the front foot. That's good. And then a little step over, just so he can slot in the backhand and the left hook, the right hook, sorry.
And it's been, we saw the movement from Fleming in the previous round, but his movement's been a bit more considered in this round, and he's showing a different. He's not moving as much, but he's still controlling all aspects of the ring.
I mentioned it earlier on, he's found that range quickly tonight, and he's stayed there. He's just making Mooney work, even when he's not throwing shots, he's just staying in that distance.
Yeah, he's been calm as well under fire. He's just realised, looking at the list, I've got to leave you straight away here because I'm in the corner in the next bout.
We'll try not to be too critical if you're in the corner, John.
Oh, it's all right, I'm used to it.
In terms of work in the corner, John, you've often been the assistant in the corner as well. Is it tough to sometimes bite your tongue as a corner man?
No, do you know what? You just kind of, whatever role it is, you relax into it, to be honest. Because if you're in the corner as an assistant, you kind of know the person you're working with, so you trust them anyway. Yeah. Right, I better go upstairs, chaps. I'll see you in a bit.
Best of luck, John.
Thanks.
And there we have it then. Job done for Andrew Fleming, and he looked good in there, impressed a lot of people. You know, the Ashley VIP stable have done a good job tonight. 3 wins out of 3. And you can see from Fleming, that was a lovely body shot that landed there, and he picked his shots nicely at times tonight.